So we're continuing with with our Aztec software interdisciplinary study material. So we have reached the part of we were discussing how to write introductory paragraphs and how to write the proposition, your premise, and your conclusion. So we discussed this in the previous video. So once you reach your conclusion, you must also keep in mind counter arguments that leave room for different explanations or factors or conclusions for more complicated premises. Your opinions also do not support conclusions unless you have facts or first-hand stories about personal experiences. So you must only use facts. The next section is about outlines. Outlines so outlines help the writer narrow the focus and to manage large amounts of information and to see the big picture. It lets you organize your ideas and thoughts so they flow logically and develop towards a sound conclusion. You develop a topic sentence for each paragraph. You support your argument by organizing related information in a clear and logical order. There are two types of outlines. One is a topic outline, which is each item is a word or a phrase, and then a sentence outline. Each item is a complete sentence. They're basically the same thing. A sentence outline is clearer than the topic outline because it provides more detailed information in the form of sentences rather than just words or phrases. Formal outlines place the thesis statement at the top of the outline, which is important. Begin with a Roman numeral for the main topic. After each Roman numeral, you add letters, numbers, etc. You begin all lines with uppercase letters. Line up every letter or numeral under the one above. If you have to go more than one line, indent to the first letter of the line above. If you have a 1, you must have a 2. If you have an A, you must have a B. Each heading and subheading should follow a parallel structure. Example, you have a thesis statement on the top. Then you would have the letter I, Roman numeral, and you put your first main topic or idea. Then you, on the next line, you indent, you put the letter A and your first supporting idea. The next line, you indent, you put the number 1, your first reason or example for your first supporting idea, and number 2 on the following line, lined up with the first number, is your second reason or example. And then the next line, you would indent again and put the small letter A and put first supporting detail. And the next line, a B lined up, second supporting detail. Once you're done, you would go to the next line and lined up with the big capital A, you would have a big capital B, and that would be your second supporting idea, and you can do the same thing, etc. And if you have another main idea or topic, that would be on the next line under Roman numeral 2, lined up with the Roman numeral 1, etc. For creating outlines, you ask, what is the purpose of this essay? Who is the intended audience? What do I want the reader to do or think, or the intention? You brainstorm all the ideas for inclusion in the essay. You categorize the group-related ideas together. You arrange or organize into subsections, general to specific, and you label or identify the main and the subheadings. For most essays, whether narrative, persuasive, research, or descriptive, generally follow the same pattern. So the three main parts of an essay when outlining: the introduction, then the body and the core, and then the conclusion. The introduction states the main idea or provides structure for the essay, such as explaining or describing or arguing the purpose of the essay and an overview or preview of the supporting points. The introductory paragraph must be written to catch the reader's interest and lure him or her into reading the rest of the essay. It must be relatively brief, concise, and accurate, limited to 3 or 4 sentences. For example, avoid "it is" and "there is" and "which is" and "that is" constructions in your sentences, which tend to be uninteresting and vague. The format is place the thesis statement at the top of the outline. The second part, or the body or the core of the essay, has main ideas or topics with supporting ideas and supporting evidence. The development of the topic should be saved for the supporting paragraphs. Topic sentence goes in the beginning of each paragraph, identifying the main point or topic of each paragraph and unifying the different points within, giving clear and focused ideas and scope. The subtopics are the supporting details in the paragraph, sentences providing evidence to back up the topic sentence. Supporting details can be facts, reasons, details, examples, narratives, arguments, or comparisons. Each supporting paragraph usually discusses or concentrates on one particular or different supporting point, aka has unity. So only has one different point. This point just develops the topic sentence or furthers it. Usually there are 3 body paragraphs. Each must be coherent, convincing, relevant within the context of the essay topic, and aid in the topic's development in an organized, flowing, logical, and clear way. You have to use unusual details, which make your writing interesting. You have to vary your vocabulary and use different sentence structures and transition words for variety's sake, and strategies used for organizing within different supporting paragraphs of different purposes are the following. There's 5 of them. 1 is chronological or time order, when things happened or in what order or sequence of events. This is used when you need to tell a story or explain a process. Use transition words such as and, as well as, and when. If there are several causes for the same effect, then, and these causes are not chronologically related, a different organization pattern is needed. 2. Spatial or space order, where things happened. 3. Order of cause and effect relationship, one thing caused another to happen. Often, cause and effect relationships can be developed through chronological order because the effects are the reaction to their causes. Can compare traits of different options individually or in groups. For cause and effect. Then 4 is order of importance, usually starting with most important to least. 5, order of comparison or contrast, point out differences and similarities. Use clear and logical sequence for presenting information. Be organized and understandable. Use transition words. Select effective details to support your conclusions. Okay, so and the last is the conclusion. The conclusion summarizes or reviews what you've said in the rest of the essay, or reinstates the initial thesis with an insightful overview or an emphasis on the main arguments. It should be memorable, a parting thought using humor, description, or a call to action. It should convince the reader that the essay has made its point.